The following program, paid for by Right Path Real Estate, does not necessarily represent the views or opinions of the staff, management, or ownership of this station. It's time to get on the right path with Right Path Real Estate Radio with Tom Perry. Get the answer to your question that's keeping you from taking action and succeeding today.
Welcome to the show.
Did you forget? My phone. Oh, yeah? Did you go get it?
Get ready. The guy that will put your fears behind you is on the air now. Taking calls at 713-785-1817. Toll free 877-881-0271. Now here's your host, Tom Perry.
Hey, good morning. Welcome to the show. Right Path Real Estate Radio. We've got a call-in number if you want to call in, 713-785-1817, 713-785-1817. So my name is Tom Perry. I'm the host of the Right Path Real Estate Radio Show. We come live to you every morning at 9 a.m. from Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. on AM 1110, Business Radio in Houston, Texas. We also come live via Facebook. In fact, I'm getting my Facebook feed set up in the studio right now. And then we also come via Instagram and Periscope and Twitch. And we are here to help you learn about real estate investing, and not just investing, but mindset. I'm also joined live in the studio, my good friend, my co-host, my brother from another mother, Mr. Daniel G.
Good morning.
Welcome to the
How's
show.
How's everybody? Happy Hump Day.
Hump Day. Right. We got a busy day today. I know that.
Yes.
In fact, I was looking at my calendar. Man, I'm booked solid from 9 a.m. until about 6:30.
Yeah.
And then, I have a meeting every Wednesday evening, a standing meeting with gentlemen. And so I'm sure that is on. So, one of the people that, and then also for you guys that are on Instagram and Periscope, it's not as much on, seems to be the crop on the Facebook feed. I can actually stand up a little bit on the Facebook feed and see that you can see through my shirt. It's actually blue on the bottom part, but for whatever reason, on Instagram, Periscope, it seems to be see-through. A little bit slightly different crop on those.
It's a little weird.
It's a little weird. Looks like I'm a kind of a floating head. Like, ooh, okay. So anyhow, enough about that. So the title of the show is Specialist versus Generalist.
Yes.
Now, I'm going to throw this out there. It's kind of a rhetorical question. I think most people know the answer. Do specialists get paid more, or do generalists get paid more? And, most people, want to be a jack of all trades, right? And there's a saying, jack of all trades, master of none,
Absolutely.
right? And what we know is that in medicine, for example, in almost anything, the more you specialize, the more highly paid that you are.
Yes.
And what brings this up is yesterday we had an investor came in town. One of our students set up this meeting. He's wanting our student to help him find some deals.
Yeah.
And really, as he's gotten older, he's willing to settle for a lower return, understanding the market environment, and so he'd like to make like 7% on his money, and but he wants to be completely passive, and he's making some more money than that in like multifamily. He's got a 40-unit multifamily.
I think it's 44 units.
44 units in Houston, and he's like, I've got a property manager, but she has to call me, and
he's on both sides of the coin.
Right.
He doesn't want to be bothered by the property manager, but he doesn't trust her enough to make the decisions, because the way he explained it was the property manager's on site. She wants to be friends with the tenants.
Right. So
she's going to fix things that may not necessarily need to be fixed.
Yeah, he wants to fix everything, right?
Yes.
And will spend his money. But he doesn't want to be he wants her to be able to make the decisions, but won't really allow her fully to make decisions. Yes. But all that aside, he told us a fascinating story that he's got a daughter that's graduating with an MBA from Stanford. Yep. So she obviously lives in California right now, and then he's got two sons, both of them engineers, and one of them is working on his PhD in engineering. They both live in Israel, which is where this guy lives.
Yes.
He was traveling in Houston. He's heading out to California and all that. So, but his son in engineering is in robotics.
Yes.
And so, you say, well, wow, robotics is, a specialty within engineering. And so when you say, are you a generalist or are you a specialist? Yeah, so he's a specialist in robotics. However, he's gone a step further. He's in the specialty of hand robotics.
Yes.
And so what he's working on specifically is a hand that can work with frozen foods in a grocery store.
Yes.
And to be able to make a distinction, to be able to grab different types of foods
that have different different
Textures,
densities,
textures.
This is a loaf of bread. This is a can. This is like I can grab this harder than I can grab this.
And so his dad said, I've had an opportunity to hear him speak before and things like that. I heard him give a lecture to other specialists in the field, and so apparently his son is, all that in a bag of chips, right?
As far as robotic hands go,
right?
Sure.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what. Yeah. So he's like, hey, I had a chance to listen to my son give this speech, and I didn't understand a single thing he was talking about, right? So that was number one. But what I realized is oh my gosh, he understands this at such a level that it's just.
And I thought it was funny because the dad mentioned, he said, well, I asked my son,
yep.
Well, how is the robot going to get around the store?
How does the hand get around the store?
Yeah, and it's I don't know.
I don't have a clue.
I've got nothing to do with that.
Right.
I focus on the hand.
Yeah, because he is laser focused. Imagine if you gave all 100% of your effort, energy, intentionality to one thing.
Yeah.
And that's all you focused on was that one thing. And how good would you get at that one thing?
Yeah, absolutely.
How would you continue to think about, new and creative? What would your juices be like for creativity about that one? He's not worried about, hey, the wheels and getting it. It's only about how the hand functions.
Yeah.
And so I have no idea what the guy makes. I can imagine it's and what his dad said is hey, he's got no business mindset whatsoever. He doesn't concern himself with business or any of that kind of stuff. He is laser focused on just the hand. And when we look at great science breakthroughs or things like that, typically it's people that are specialists in their area of expertise. I know I had the pleasure of working with Dr. Red Duke.
Yeah.
One of the inventors of the whole Life Flight program, and one of the greatest trauma surgeons of all time. And what I realized is that he was such a very humble man. He was incredible, and he kind of a country guy, wore cowboy boots, with his surgical scrubs all the time. But just the way his brain worked about solving problems as it related to keeping trauma victims alive, and all the different things that he created to solve problems that had never been solved before.
Yeah,
and so. Compare that with a lot of the people that come to us from a real estate education standpoint and want to learn every single step of how the whole thing
they've
is
been
done.
to the lease option guy, they've been to the trust guy, they've been to the
note guy,
tax option guy, the note guy, the flip guy, the wholesale guy, the buy and hold guy, the apartment guy, and it's
they want to know how all things real estate work. And the people that I know that make the most money in real estate, let's face it, you can make money in almost anything in real estate. You can make money flipping houses. You can make money wholesaling houses. You can make money being a general contractor.
Yeah.
You can make money being a plumber. You can make money being an electrician. You can make money being a foundation guy. Now, do you make the same amount of money in all of those? No. You can make money being the landscape guy, right?
Absolutely. The tree. We've got a tree trimmer we use, and we call him from time to time. And
we actually had to change our tree.
Yeah.
Right. Well, there's that.
We won't get into that story.
Right.
But you get the point, right? There's somebody that's making money in every single little area in this business.
Yes.
But they're earning an income, most of them, except for the people that are doing the single-family buy and hold are creating wealth.
Yes.
And I think that's where a lot of people, especially, I know some great wholesalers.
Yes, absolutely.
Great wholesalers.
Yeah, right. Former students of ours.
Yeah,
right.
absolutely. Right. And it's, at some point, you've got to figure out the other piece.
Yes.
Otherwise, you're always running. At Houston House Buyers, we've got a machine that we've got to feed.
Right, absolutely.
And we can't keep every deal.
Right.
Because if we do, then we forget to feed the machine, and when the machine doesn't get fed, it gets upset.
Yeah.
Right.
It starts
and
breaking
then it
down.
all breaks down.
Right. Yeah. In fact, so I want to talk about that. So one is, are you focusing on learning everything? And I've shared this story, but I think it's worth repeating. Is the story about the guy that was the investment banker that came to me when I was still actively walking properties with Fast Track. And this guy, I'd done the bid, and I think his budget was $23,000, and we came in maybe $23,500 or $24,000. We were in the ballpark of where he needed to be, fixing all the things. And then he came to me and he said, "Hey, looks like there's about $2,200 worth of tile work. Why don't you go ahead and take that out of the bid?" And I was like, okay, well, we're about, maybe $1,500 or $2,000 over his budget. Maybe that's why he wants to do it. I mean, like, hey, what are you going to do instead? And I'm like, did you find some? I mean, are you going to give that portion to someone else? Because one of the things about Fast Track, the reason why they need to be turnkey as opposed to just coming in and painting a house and being done, is that oftentimes when you're sequencing things, many times when people are GCing themselves, they wait for a task to be finished and then they go on to the next task. We talked about that in one of our meetings recently, is that, but in Fast Track, they're thinking in advance, okay, hey, I'm calling the plumber. Plumber says they're going to be there Tuesday and Wednesday. What comes after the plumbing? And then that's the next step. Then they need to be there on Wednesday.
Yeah.
So,
and what two steps can be done simultaneously, right? And that sort of thing.
Yeah.
As opposed to waiting for one to be finished.
I think we were actually talking about final clean on a property, and then the photographs, right? Oh, we were helping one of our students with the Galveston property, right?
Trying to get them to schedule it out, because
1 minute.
If you wait till you're done to call the next guy, then you're going to be 2 or 3 days between each task.
Well, and so not only that, here's the problem with that. Sometimes is that, like, she's got a person she's never worked before, and he goes, yeah, it should take 5 to 7 days. Was that business days or is that calendar days, right? So, and are you asking those right questions? And then here's the issue is we don't know if they're good at estimating their time. Like, are they allowing for surprises? Do they normally under promise and over deliver? Are they the kind of person that says, oh yeah, I'm probably going to be done in 5 days, and then they're actually done in 4, which I prefer that.
Yeah, absolutely.
But that's not typical among general contractors and handymen, things like that. We're going to continue this conversation on the other side of the break. You're listening to Right Path Real Estate Radio, 713-785-1817. Give us a call.
Hey, good morning, Jay. Good morning, Nora. Good morning, Ginger. Good morning, Ben. Good morning, Alex. Good morning, Andy. Good morning, 1092 AV. Good morning, PJ Nash.
Investors,
PJ, thanks for joining us.
You're fast at the speed of a jet
becoming
to fund your
a
investment
regular
properties.
there on Instagram.
Jet
We always
Lending will help
appreciate
you purchase properties quickly with as little cash out of pocket as possible. Jet Lending
Where does
also
he
sets
find
up a
this
repair
stuff?
escrow fund.
He has
to help
more
you
stuff
with
like that
repair
than anybody I've ever met in my
Jet
life.
Lending has
I think it's
originated
just
over
fucking
2,000 loans in Texas, valued at over $250 million. Jet Lending will help you evaluate your deals for free
door
and
is so
give you
close to the
feedback
toilet,
on value,
and instead of
cost
changing
of
the
repairs,
swing,
and potential
they
loan
cut
amount.
a
Jet
crack
Lending
in
is
the
your
door
fast and friendly
to
hard
let
money
it
source
swing
for
back.
first-time investors and seasoned professionals. Call 281-872-7800 or email us at info@jetlending.com.
works.
Oh, and
Not
don't
really,
forget
'cause when
about
the door's
our
closed, wouldn't they be able to
Third
see
Wednesday
into
Super
where-
Investor
Yeah.
Networking meeting.
Unless
Lots of
there's a
fun,
flap on it,
lots
like
of
a
rubber
real
flap
estate
or
talk.
something, maybe?
We'll
I
see
don't-
you there.
And that's right at the right angle, too. Hey, good morning, Christina.
Time is money in a real estate deal. If your insurance
1
company
minute.
is slow or non-responsive, you could lose a deal like that. You need a quick
Good morning,
turnaround on quotes, binders, and the
Enhance
agency for that is
on
Benchmark
Instagram.
Insurance Group of Texas. The team at
Good morning,
Benchmark
Commander
understands the
Root
investor
and
mindset.
Rex
They know what
on
you need and when you need it.
Twitch.
It's there for you. Call Houston's leading real estate risk management experts, Benchmark Insurance Group of Texas, 281-569-4353. That's 281-569-4353. Or online at
I haven't been on Facebook in a
benchmarkbroker.com.
while.
Are you looking for an investor-friendly general contractor for your investment property? Then call Fast Track Remodeling at 832-742-9992 or reach us on the web at fasttrackremodeling.com.
Fast Track Remodeling specializes in
Could that
turnkey
lock's not going
remodeling
on
of
door handle?
single-family investment properties.
Huh?
Whether it's a
The
flip
lock box you
rehab
put for
or
me
a rental
yesterday?
rehab, we manage every
was
aspect
on
of
the
a
door
rehab
handle.
from start to finish with a highly efficient, standardized process.
What?
Over the last 6 years, Fast Track has completed over 700 projects, which has helped us to create our 3 keys to success. Use a detailed scope of work so that everything gets done, train and maintain quality crews so it gets done right, and complete the work in a proper order so it gets done fast.
It's
No more
easy to
managing it
remove.
yourself, no more doing the work yourself. Fast Track Remodeling really does manage it all.
So give us a call
10
today
seconds.
at 832-742-9992. Again, that's 832-742-9992, or reach us on
Maybe
the
he's
web
talking
at
about that you can pop the
fasttrackremodeling.com.
doorknob off or
This
something
is
like that. break the
Business
doorknob.
1110.
Mike's on.
Hey, welcome back. Welcome back. Right Path Real Estate Radio. You want to give us a call, ask any kind of questions, join in the conversation, 713-785-1817. Hey, good morning, Christina. Happy Wednesday to you as well. Good morning, Alexander Cedillo, Mr. C. How are you? So just talking about being a specialist.
Yes.
And so I was telling the story about this guy that investment banker, smart guy, obviously financially successful, adding real estate to his financial portfolio. And he said, look, I want to buy 10 houses over the next year. That was not uncommon that people would tell me that. Very few people ever actually pulled it off.
Yeah.
More students of ours are doing that than when I was a contractor over at that other group. Now, here's what I asked him. I'm like, why are you taking the tile work out of that bid? And I mean, because I'm worried about sequencing.
Yeah, if it's another contractor, what if he doesn't show up? Now everything's on hold.
I think I was charging $325 a square foot tile installed. That was floating. That was thin set. That was grout, laying the tile, including the tile, getting the tile there, delivery charge. I mean, everything, $325 a foot. That's super cheap.
Yeah.
I don't think it's that cheap anymore, or at least it shouldn't be.
Yeah.
And he goes, no. What I want to do is I want to take on a different aspect of each of the next 10 houses. I want to take on one of those roles of, like, the first one I'm going to do the tile work, and I want to learn how to do that. And then the next one I'm going to do maybe I'll do the faucets, and the next one I'll do the light fixtures. And that way I'll be a better investor knowing how all those things are done. And I was like, it's not the dumbest thing I've ever heard. However, it ranks up there pretty high. A scale of 1 to 10, it's not a 10.
Well, first off, what makes you think you can become an expert at tile after doing one job?
Right.
It takes a lot more than that.
Yeah, a tile apprentice guy, normally has a master tile layer that's looking over his shoulder.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, you're going to be in there by yourself trying to figure all that out. And then not only that, you're going to take, like, my tile guy's going to knock this job out in like a day and a half.
Yeah.
You set the tile one day, you do all the float, you trowel it, you set the tiles, use the spacers, all that, make sure it's all straight.
Yeah.
Cut all your complex cuts, all that kind of stuff. You come back the next day and you grout it, right?
Yeah.
So it's a 2-day job at most, day and a half. You might take 7 days figuring this stuff out.
Yeah.
What's my crew going to be doing while you're effing up my job, right?
It's going to cost you a lot more for you to lay the tile.
Yeah,
I'm have to charge you for
absolutely, right. Yeah, so, I mean, you're going to be freaking out my job, right?
Yeah.
That's what I meant by effing up my job.
Yeah.
You're going to be freaking out my job. So, and I go, let me tell you a little bit about my tile guy. I mean, love my tile guy. Super nice guy, but he's in his mid-30s. He's been probably laying tiles since he was 15 for like 20 years.
Yeah.
He's good at what he does, and in his mid-30s, guess what? He's got a bad back.
Yeah.
And he's got, his knees are not, because he spends most of his time down on his hands and knees, troweling that. I mean, he's physically not in good shape.
Yeah.
And what you're wanting to learn how to do is, like, I'm an investor. I've never done that.
Yeah.
And you want to you want to learn how to be an investor. You want to learn what I do, not what my tile guy does. Like, I know how that, like, I've watched my tile. You watch him for 10 minutes, you get it. I mean, it's not rocket surgery, right?
You can figure it out.
Yeah, just because I can watch something get done, I mean, like, I can watch my hairstylist, cut somebody's hair. I get how it's done.
Yeah.
Now, you don't want me cutting your hair, because they do that finger thing that looks really, really simple, and they get it right down and it's always like the same even. 3 inches, 4 inches, whatever. I mean, don't expect me to get it, but I don't. I could probably start a hair salon business because I understand the numbers of the business.
Yes, and I'm sure it would be very successful. But you would not be behind the chair.
I would not be cutting someone's hair unless I could use a Flowbee. if I could use a Flowbee,
the bowl cut section is over here.
Right now, I gotta have me a good soup bowl. I mean, what size bowl you want? You want to? Yeah. Anyhow, so you get that the more you specialize. And that's the point of the message, is that the more you specialize and the more you get focused and the more you look at, these are the things that you need to start asking yourself, what are the 2 or 3 things that I can do on a daily basis that move the needle for me the most, whether it's financially, spiritually, physically, whatever it is that you feel like that you're not where you want to be in your life. Yes. What are the 2 or 3 things that you could focus on? And then you also have to look at what are all the things that you're doing in a day. Like, you got to take an inventory of, yesterday I did these things. Now, what are some of those things that I did yesterday that either A, don't need to be done, or B, I can delegate to someone else, right? Because they're not moving the needle. In fact, a lot of people, I get asked over and over and over the whole situation about why did you give away Fast Track? And, it's a successful business. It was doing well, those kind of things. In fact, it's still successful and doing even better because they're focused only on that, right? That's all they run is the Fast Track business. And I own 50% of Houston House Buyers and 100% of Fast Track at the time. And I wasn't focusing 100% on either. And when I looked at what's the potential, what am I making now in Fast Track? And it was good. But can it ever be great? Can it ever be the kind of money that I really know that my time is worth? And when I answered that question, I was like, no, I don't think it can. Yet, when I looked at investing, what can I do there? And in even more so, that's called an epiphany, right? That's one of those aha moments.
Absolutely.
But you have to have the ability to reflect on where is it that you're trying to get to, and is what you're doing now working you towards that goal? So more and more and more, what we're recognizing in Right Path is that the easy part is the real estate. In fact, a cliche that we say over and over and over is real estate's easy, it's the people that are hard.
Absolutely, it is. I agree
but
with
I'll
that
also
100%.
say this, that it's not just that the people are hard, it's that real estate investing is easy. It's the mindset that's challenging.
Yes.
When you get started, it's not the 8 or 10 or 12 things that you need to master in order to be good at it. And you can outsource a lot of those things, whether it's the transaction coordination, whether it's the contracts, whether it's finding the deals, it's funding the deals, it's analyzing the deals, and then it's executing on the deal, and then whatever your exit strategy is, whether it's buy and hold, which that's got its own process. So it's learning those processes. That's the easy part. That's 20% of what it takes. When we look at, like you said, some really successful, guys that are some of the best wholesalers in town. And I agree. They're beasts when it comes to that, right? And they're really good at that 20%. But you know what makes them really, really, really great is that they're better at the other 80%.
They are.
Between the ears. Yeah. They are beasts when it comes between the ears. And when I look at people that have come through our program that have just killed it from a success standpoint versus people that have struggled to execute, it's never in the knowing how to do it that people struggle. It's always in the doing it.
And I think a lot of times for us, it's talking about those guys is came in with a lot of mindset already, right? So I think in
everybody
the beginning
comes with a history of life, right?
Yes, but I think where that mindset is and how much that needs to be course corrected often depends on the speed that things start to happen. Because if you come in with a certain mindset, things implement a lot faster for you.
Correct.
As opposed to if your mindset needs to be corrected and course corrected, which will help you do. It doesn't. The ball doesn't get to rolling.
It's like
fast,
how deep
right?
is the mental hole we got to get you out of, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and it's not a financial hole necessarily, or it's not a physical hole. It's there's this mental financial hole is what I call it. And how deep do we have to, because oftentimes people in business, let's say that they're in business, you're either going to make money or you're going to lose money fast or you're going to lose money slow. And I've always said losing money fast is better than losing money slow because you're always deluding yourself and that you're just around the corner from turning it around.
Yes.
But here's the other thing is, when you find yourself digging yourself in a hole in a business or whatever it is that you're doing in life and you don't want to go that direction, then it's like, hey, when you find yourself in a hole and you're shoveling as fast as you can, you're not digging yourself out necessarily. You're digging yourself a deeper hole, right? So you got time to climb out, not dig out, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so you normally climb out of a hole. You don't dig out of a hole.
Correct.
So stop digging.
Yep.
So anyhow. So you're listening to Right Path Real Estate Radio. I want to give out the phone number, 713-785-1817, if you want to join in the conversation. I said that so fast, I want to tell it again. And I also noticed that it's rotating. If you're on the Book of Faces, you're following along. The phone number's right there, 713-785-1817. And so, it's fascinating because every day we talk about typically what we did yesterday.
Yes.
And so I've shared that story. I want to tell you another story. So I know of a real estate agent that had a meeting yesterday with a person that's a prospective buyer of a house. Okay. So it was like the initial sit down. And I always think that if you're going to be a real estate agent, one of the things you have to get good at is you're guiding and directing your clients, because oftentimes clients don't know what to do. When you're talking about working with as an agent with retail buyers, or if we recommend that a lot of investors become agents so that you have direct access to MLS. And so along the way, sometimes people will also want to list a house or represent a buyer or something like that. You know, most buyers don't know the process of what it takes to buy a house, right?
No, they don't. They've never done it before. Absolutely not. First-time buyers.
And what's interesting is, let's face it, the biggest purchase anybody makes in their lifetime is typically a single-family house. That's number one, far and away, right? Number two is an automobile, right? And so I think oftentimes the mindset is, hey, how different could a house be than a car? And that we see that in the marketplace right now. That's one of the reasons why I think that there's companies like Open Door and Redfin, and they're trying to make Rex and some of the others. Yeah. They're trying to make a difference in the residential real estate market, because there's been such a change in the used car market over the last couple of years as a result of CarMax and
shifted.
Texas Direct Auto and some of those others. And so I think they see that there's a connection. But houses are a lot different. And
I just don't know that you can streamline that process.
Time will tell.
Yeah, I guess it will.
Yeah.
And here, for me, even if you're able to, through technology and things like that, cure the title and do all the title transfer and all that digitally through technology and things like that, I would just not want to. I mean, as an investor, sure, sometimes we purchase houses sight unseen, right?
Yeah.
Completely different story. But as a homeowner, I want somebody to talk to and guide me through that process and tell me,
2 minutes.
Hey, you're getting
Well, when you're spending that much money, there's a lot of fear involved.
There's a lot of fear involved. Do these companies that are trying to take the agents out of the process, do they expect the consumer to become experts in a neighborhood?
Yeah, right.
How do we go about doing that? Like, how do I even know it's a good deal?
Right.
Other than that's what it's priced at.
Right.
Like, an agent can tell you, hey, this is what happens in the neighborhood. This is the trends that have had, like, all that kind of stuff.
Correct.
We don't, as consumers, you don't have access to that information.
Right.
So unless you're going to go out,
I can think of some streets like along Briar Forest, for example. You're on the south side of the street, it's $100,000 less than if you're on the north side of the street.
Yeah, and you wouldn't know any better.
Not necessarily.
Right? And so does every consumer now have to go become an expert? Like, when I took my real estate classes, there was a guy in there.
Yeah.
He was in there getting his license because he wanted to buy a house to live in.
Because he wanted to save the 3% fee?
Because he wanted to know exactly how the process worked and what he was doing and represent himself through the transaction.
Well, that'd be one way to do it.
I guess. I didn't even want to have a conversation with him because there was no way I could do it without.
That's a backwards thinking.
It's a backwards thinking.
Yeah.
And
that's the investment banker that wants to learn how to lay tile
so
be an investor.
With the way these other companies are trying to set it up, I feel like everybody would have to go that route. And that just doesn't make sense.
No, right. That's exactly right. So this agent that I know that I'm good friends with, we were talking on the phone yesterday, and they were describing this sit down. They said, they were asking my opinion about what do you think about this sit down? And the story that they described is that turns out this guy's not shopping for his own house. He is wanting to be an investor. And I'll continue the story on the other side of the break. The music says I'm out of time, and I don't want to get on a roll right before we go to break. So stay tuned with us. We'll be back in 2 or 3, maybe 4 minutes at the most. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
See you on the other side of the break.
Hello, real
Hey,
estate
good morning,
investors.
Ginger. Good morning, Nora.
Do you need a lender that moves fast at the speed of a jet to fund your investment properties? Jet Lending will help you purchase properties quickly with as little cash out of pocket as possible. Jet Lending also sets up a repair escrow fund to help you with repair costs. Jet Lending has originated over 2,000 loans in Texas, valued at over $250 million. Jet Lending will help you evaluate your deals for free and give you feedback on value, cost of repairs, and potential loan amount. Jet Lending is your fast and friendly hard money source for first-time investors and seasoned professionals. Call 281-872-7800 or email us at info@jetlending.com. Oh, and don't forget about our famous Third Wednesday Super Investor Networking Meeting. Lots of fun, lots of great real estate talk. We'll see you there.
Time is money in a real estate deal. If your insurance company is slow or non-responsive, you could lose a deal like that. You need a quick turnaround on quotes or binders? The agency for that is Benchmark Insurance Group of Texas. The team at Benchmark understands the investor mindset. They know what you need and when you need it. we're here for you. Are you a rehabber, wholesaler, buy and hold, or flipper? Bundling your properties on a single policy will help save time and money. Benchmark has been in business for over 10 years, and we insure
I
over
meant to
30,000
mention that the other day.
Yeah.
Like there was the
Benchmark
announcement.
about our exclusive
and then-
investor
What
package.
I don't
Call
know.
us and let us show you what we can do for you at 281-569-4353. That's
surely we would've seen her again.
281-569-4353.
Right?
Or online at benchmarkbroker.com.
Well, I mean,
That's benchmarkbroker.com. That's
Also noticed that I never
281-569-4353. Or online at benchmarkbroker.com.
Are you looking for an investor-friendly general contractor for your investment property? Then call Fast Track Remodeling at 832-742-9992 or reach us on the web at fasttrackremodeling.com.
Fast Track Remodeling specializes in turnkey remodeling of single-family investment properties. Whether it's a flip rehab or a rental rehab, we manage every aspect of a rehab from start to finish with a highly efficient, standardized process.
Over the last 6 years, Fast Track has completed over 700 projects, which has helped us to create our 3 keys to success. Use a detailed scope of work so that everything gets done, train and maintain quality crews so it gets done right, and complete the work in a proper order so it gets done fast.
No more managing it yourself, no more doing the work yourself. Fast Track Remodeling really does manage it all.
So give us a call today at 832-742-9992. Again, that's 832-742-9992, or reach us on the web at fasttrackremodeling.com.
This is Business 1110.
Mike's on.
Hey, welcome back. Welcome back. Right Path Real Estate Radio. So I was talking about a story. I have a friend of mine that's a real estate agent. We were talking on the phone yesterday. They were telling me a story about a sit-down. This guy wants to be a real estate investor. Claims to be a real estate investor. And he wants my friend that's an agent to help them find properties.
Okay.
And so he's meeting with a lot of different agents, and he's got a pitch for what his deal is, right? And his deal is that he wants to have a buyer's agent that will rebate back their commission to him, and how they make money, the agent that is that he wants them to negotiate a deal so aggressively that they're paid out of the amount that they save him, and they get a portion of the savings. So I'm like, well, so hold on a second. If I'm representing your interests, and I have a fiduciary responsibility to represent you, and so let's say that you're putting a bid in on a house at $90,000 that's listed at $90,000, right?
Okay.
And you asked me to put in an offer at $85,000. I mean, I'm making an offer. I'm not necessarily negotiating in that respect, right?
Yeah.
So are you saying that I make the difference between the 90 and the 85? And I'm like, so you don't want me to earn the 3% of the 90, but you want me to, and it's like, the only thing that it made me think of is this a person that has an abundance mindset?
Obviously not.
Correct. And so when I look at where people struggle in life in terms of being successful is, are you looking to build a relationship with the person that you're doing? There's 2 different types of people we do business with. There's a transaction type of business where
Yes.
there's no relationship built. I don't really have a relation. I mean, some people may say, oh, you can have a relationship with HEB or Kroger or something like that. No, some of the employees maybe, yeah.
Yeah, but not the company.
Correct. Now, so most of the time, what's going to end up happening? Oh, somebody sent me a text. Oh, I know who that is. Oh, yeah. Apparently not listening to the radio show because sending me a text during the show. So anyhow, we'll ignore that for just now. You know, with agents, for example, I've built relationships with agents. Even
Yes.
though I am an agent, agents bring me deals.
Yes.
Because typically the arrangement that I make with that agent is, hey, if you bring me a deal, you're representing the seller. I want you to keep the 3% of the sellers, you know, because you're getting the seller
Correct.
side, but you can represent me also as
Yes,
the buyer.
why not?
If I'm buying a house for $210 and it's worth $210 for me, and you make 6% off the $210, I'm good with that.
Yes.
I'm not expecting you to rebate that back. Then also, what typically happens is if I buy a house at $210 and I put $70,000 into it, so now I'm in at $280, but I'm going to go and list it at $420 or something
Yeah.
like that. I'm going to let you do the listing. and you're going to earn the 3% of the 420 as well. So that's how you build relationships with people.
I mean, talk about motivation to bring a deal, right?
Right.
So I'd like to bring up a story that a lot of people may not know. I don't know if we've told it before, but there was a situation one time where that was the case that had happened.
Right.
And on this particular property, we felt like our agent that does our retail listings was more qualified in that particular area and could probably get more for the house in that neighborhood, right? Mm-hmm. So we chose to go with our agent.
Correct.
So
going against what I had promised.
Going against what you had promised, right? Mm-hmm. And so there was a little bit of hiccup there, but you never had any intention of not still paying that person, and you did.
Right.
Which I think completely blew this agent away.
Correct. Yeah.
And so what happened is you not only did our agent get paid for selling the deal, but you also kicked back 3% to the agent that you had promised the listing, even though she didn't do any of the work.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
So for me, when you are a person of integrity and a person of honor, when you say something, you always make sure that you live up to that, even if it cost you a little bit extra.
Right.
Right?
Yep.
And I think that set a tone to that lady. She even sent you a gift basket, if I remember correctly.
It's a cutting board.
A cutting board. There you go.
Mm-hmm.
But
because her husband, he makes. I mean, in fact, I used it a lot this past weekend. Yeah,
it was really nice.
Oh my gosh, yes. It's a handmade cutting board.
I think when people
and the cutting board was nice because I used that. It's functional, and
it was the note that really mattered.
Yeah, the note is like unbelievable. Yeah,
because people don't expect that kind of integrity. I mean, most people, if they have the choice between integrity and
money,
and money, they choose money.
Yeah,
and you just can't build relationships that way.
No,
especially there's so many times where I'm working with somebody that I know maybe it's like, do you even want to work with that person? You're always on edge, right?
Right.
So I got a text from a guy that I've done a couple deals with before, and the last time we did a deal with him, he ended up backing out, and we let him, and basically gave up money that I had earned already, and that our company had earned.
Yep.
Said, hey, we're going to do this for the sake of the relationship.
Yeah, right.
And then completely went dark after that, right?
Right.
But then reached out to me yesterday. Hey, I've got this deal. I signed it up too high. Can you help? Like,
no,
I really can't. I'm like, I'm just, even if I could,
right?
I mean, it was signed up so high there was no way,
right? Sure.
But even if I could, like, why would I want to?
Why would?
Right? Like, you want me to put work again, knowing that what happened last time, and then you didn't even continue the relationship like we had agreed upon, right? So it'll always come back to you.
Yeah, because that person said that they were going to bring us deals, right?
Yeah, we were supposed to continue a relationship and work together moving forward.
Yeah,
and that never happened.
Never, right?
Until he got in trouble.
Yeah.
And
then he brings a bad deal to it.
Yeah, he got in trouble with a bad deal.
Well, maybe that's his first deal that he's done since.
It's absolutely not.
I always try and give people the benefit of the doubt, right?
Well, that's you, not me.
Right.
That's you, not me, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. So
relationships are important.
They are.
They really are, especially if you're trying to do this business long term. Now, if you're here for a season,
what I'd say is if you're trying to do life long term, relationships are important. So I'd say there's two takeaways from this show that I really want you to get. One is, if you have the choice of being a generalist or a specialist, always choose becoming a generalist. Decide what it is. Well, first off, you have to decide where it is. Decide where it is that you're trying to go. And then find out what specialty you can get there the fastest. In fact, even talking about, I see a lot of people that say, "Oh, I want to be an investor. I want to be an investor. I want to be a wholesaler." That guy would probably be a really good agent.
Yeah,
because he's not a very good wholesaler.
No.
I mean, he's not a good wholesaler at all. But he'd probably kill. In fact, he'd probably make double, triple, quadruple the amount of money that he makes as a wholesaler as an agent. In fact, I'd say that's probably true of about 85%
of wholesalers. Yes, I agree totally.
Yeah,
but here's the problem. It's a mindset thing.
Of course, right.
Because being a wholesaler, I'm like Gary Vee. I'm a solopreneur and I'm an entrepreneur. I'm crushing it. I'm 10xing it.
You're the same thing if you're an agent.
I'm a CEO.
You can be a solopreneur. Have your own brokerage.
But in their mind, they're not seeing it that way.
Yeah.
They want to be the boss, right? As to where an agent, you're technically working at a brokerage for at least the first 4 years.
Yeah, but go to a discount brokerage that the broker kind of stays out of your hair. You do what you do, and you go that route where there's so many flat fee brokerages.
And it's so much easier.
Oh my God, yeah, getting a listing or representing a buyer.
Is so much easier
is,
than being a wholesaler.
Yeah, you stop and think about that. Most people don't realize the size of the market, but we've done the analysis, and that it's about 3% of every house of all houses on the marketplace will sell in a given year. So it's about, out of every 1,000 houses, about 30 houses will sell. Most of those sell on MLS. And investors take about 1.5% of that. We get about 1.5 houses per year, per 1,000 per
Yes.
year. And which, I mean, that's a very, very small. We're about 5% of the 3%.
Yes.
And that's a very, very small percentage.
It is.
And so it means that you're, as an investor, a wholesaler, a buy, fix, and flipper, you're going after about 1.5% of the market, as opposed to 1.5 houses per 1,000 versus 30 houses per 1,000. I know people, but there's so many agents. You know what I've discovered in life. In fact, we had this conversation recently, right?
Yes.
That what I've discovered in life is, regardless. I mean, we were talking with a guy that I forget. Doesn't matter what kind of business, but I said, is there any doubt that if, and I referenced a very successful person. I said, if this person were to start over today in that business,
Yeah.
any doubt that they'd be successful? And I said, no. Why is that? Well, because there's always room for people that want to do things with integrity and ethics and want to do things at a high level. I mean, the bar among agents, for example, is so stinking low.
It is.
I mean, the expectation, there's so many lazy agents out there. There's not much competition. In fact, most things in life, the bar is so low for excellence that
Yes.
there's always room for another excellent company.
Of course there is.
I think that Fast Track is a great general contractor. I mean, they have a pristine reputation, all that. But is there room for another Fast Track? Absolutely.
Of course there is.
Of course.
Yeah.
Do they dominate the market? No, of course not. I mean, so if anybody wanted to go and do something with excellence, yes, relationships are best for repeatable business. Lack of integrity blows any future opportunities for repeat business, including those you don't know that hear you lack of integrity. Great talk. Oh, thanks, Alex. Hey, speaking of which, he needs to get a book. In fact, hopefully he's going to be at the event next Wednesday, and I want to get a copy of the book that you and I are reading.
Okay.
and I think that would make a tremendous difference to him.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
The book that I finished the whole first section now.
Did
I'm
you?
through all 15.
Hey, Alex, look for us at Jet Lending.
Yeah.
we'll get a book ordered for you and have it for you when we get there.
Absolutely. So, anyhow, again, about relationships. So, boom, preach. Yeah. So, that's really what Right Path is all about.
Yes.
Is that we want to make sure that you're doing things with character and integrity, that you're doing things for the right reason, to make a difference not only for your own family's life, to build a legacy, but you want to make a difference. I mean, no one can get to the top. Can you imagine if you wanted to climb Mount Everest and you didn't want to build a relationship with a
I do not
Sherpa?
want help with anything.
Or you just treated the Sherpas like, well, I know you
2 minutes.
you really make money off of tips and things like that, but I want to see what kind of service you give first. And
Yeah.
if it was like a win-lose, can you imagine? And your life is in their hands.
Yes.
Because and you've seen me as I'm living my life. You've been probably with me more in the last 6 months or a year than you have ever before,
Yeah.
right? And you see that in places that I go, it's fast walking to the dry cleaners, for example, dropping off just simple things like dry cleaning. Hey, Charlie, how are you doing? And hey, Tom, how are you? Mr.
Yeah.
Tom, she calls me, And I walk in and I'm thinking, there's another guy dropping off his clothes. Now, he walked in before me, so I should be in line afterwards. I'm not trying to diss him or anything like that, but I trust Charlie, right?
Yep.
I set my clothes on the counter. Hey, Charlie, see you in a couple of days.
Yeah.
Now he's there, checking to make sure that the receipt is right.
Yeah. Did you count all my shirts?
And I'm thinking, how long has he been going there? And does he know about Charlie? And does he know? I'm like,
Yeah.
I know.
Definitely not his first time at that cleaner.
1 minute.
Very unlikely.
I know how long she's worked there. I know her marriage situation. I know about her kids. I know.
Yeah.
It's like at a dry, and it's like we have an opportunity to make a difference in other people's lives, just in the people that are on our route.
Yes.
And do you take the time to build relationships with people on your route?
Yeah, I think it's so, I think about this kind of stuff a lot
Yeah.
because we've become so programmed as a society with these automatic responses,
Yeah,
right?
right.
And a lot of times I'll give somebody a compliment
Yeah.
and they'll just dismiss it or
Yeah.
and
Or
it's
not really hear it, right.
or not really hear
Sure.
it, right? Or when you say, "Hey, how you doing?" The automatic response for that is
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm fine, how are you? Or not even I'm fine, just
Right.
how are you?
Yeah,
How
right.
is how are you a response for how are you,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
As people, we've lost that connection.
Yes.
Anyways, we're out of time for this break. We'll see you on the other side of that break.
Yeah.
I hope you'll join us when we get back.
Time is money in a real estate deal. If your insurance company is slow or non-responsive, you could lose a deal like that. You need a quick turnaround on quotes or binders? The agency for that is Benchmark Insurance Group of Texas. The team at Benchmark understands the investor mindset. They know what you need and when you need it. We're here for you. Are you a rehabber, wholesaler, buy and hold, or flipper? Bundling your properties on a single policy will help save time and money. Benchmark has been in business for over 10 years, and we insure over 30,000 properties. Contact Benchmark about our exclusive investor package. Call us and let us show you what we can do for you at 281-569-4353. That's 281-569-4353. Or online at benchmarkbroker.com. That's benchmarkbroker.com. That's 281-569-4353. Or online at benchmarkbroker.com.
Hello, real estate investors. Do you need a lender that moves fast at the speed of a jet to fund your investment properties? Jet Lending will help you purchase properties quickly with as little cash out of pocket as possible. Jet Lending also sets up a repair escrow fund to help you with repair costs. Jet Lending has originated over 2,000 loans in Texas, valued at over $250 million. Jet Lending will help you evaluate your deals for free and give you feedback on value, cost of repairs, and potential loan amount. Jet Lending is your fast and friendly hard money source for first-time investors and seasoned professionals. Call 281-872-7800 or email us at info@jetlending.com. Oh, and don't forget about our famous Third Wednesday Super Investor Networking Meeting. Lots of fun, lots of great real estate talk. We'll see you there.
1 minute.
Are you looking for an investor-friendly
really weird,
general
right?
contractor for your
Somebody
investment
must have hacked
property? Then call Fast Track Remodeling at 832-742-9992 or reach us on the web at fasttrackremodeling.com.
Fast Track Remodeling specializes in turnkey remodeling of single-family investment properties. Whether it's a flip rehab or a rental rehab, we manage every aspect of a rehab from start to finish with a highly efficient, standardized process.
Over the last 6 years, Fast Track has completed over 700 projects, which has helped us to create our 3 keys to success. Use a detailed scope of work so that everything gets done, train and maintain quality crews so it gets done right, and complete the work in a proper order so it gets done fast.
No more managing it yourself, no more doing the work yourself. Fast Track Remodeling really does manage it all.
So give us a call today
10
at
seconds.
832-742-9992. Again, that's 832-742-9992, or reach us on the web at fasttrackremodeling.com.
This is Business 1110.
Mike's on.
Love the bass line in that. That's just amazing.
Good stuff.
It's good stuff. Hey, welcome back. Right Path Real Estate Radio. So we did a live webinar yesterday.
We did.
Andy did it.
Yes.
I wasn't able to do it, so Andy did it. And then I've got an event tonight with a person I have a standing meeting with every Wednesday. And then tomorrow night it's going to be our base camp group.
Yeah.
And I know that we got a special guest coming for that.
We do. We've got a guest speaker coming out for that. Andy should be sending out that info to the Basecamp folks today.
Yeah.
But what I want to talk about is next Thursday.
Yeah. Or next Tuesday first, right? Don't forget about next Tuesday. We're going to do the.
We've got a webinar coming up next Tuesday
Right.
for those of you that weren't able to make it last night. And
so
that'll-
now lead in with Thursday.
live webinar.
Live webinar, yeah.
I'm really excited about Thursday.
Yeah.
The response so far has been very, very extensive.
Yeah.
And I don't know if Andy gave you a number.
Yeah, he did.
It's
Yeah. It's crazy.
it
doesn't fit in the room.
It doesn't fit in the room.
Right.
Even if the formula that
Yeah, right.
So
We're beyond capacity.
we are beyond capacity.
Yeah.
But we have decided we are going to risk it at least until
Yeah.
tomorrow. We're going to keep registration open definitely through tomorrow.
Right. Which leads into a problem because we have a big event next Wednesday that typically lots of people decide from that event to come to the.
Yes.
And
So that's why I don't. We might have to figure something else out. Anyways, we're doing a case study. Tom has just recently purchased a 4-unit property, and he did that with fourplex with no money out of pocket.
Yep.
And not using any of his own money, and it's going to cash flow like a beast. It's in the rehab stages now. but he's going to share with you how the deal came to him. He's going to share with you how he raised the money to do it, how the financing works, how the cash flow works, all the numbers that go into the deal. So if you'd like to learn a little bit about a deal like that, that's what we call a home run, definitely in this business. You can register for that at rightpathrealestate.com. That's www.rightpathrealestate.com. If you haven't seen our webinar, or if you've seen it recently but would like to go through it again, please feel free to register for that as well. There's a webinar button there on the website that you can register for, so we'll be doing that live. If you saw the webinar and after watching it, sometimes questions pop into your head later, feel free to hop back on the webinar on Tuesday and get those questions answered. If there's anything we can do for you, please feel free to reach out at support@rightpathrealestate.com. Again, that's support@rightpathrealestate.com. We've also got an academy coming up on the 22nd and 23rd.
Yeah.
We've got about half of that room full at this point. I know we had some other people sign up for that this morning, actually. I haven't reached out to the couple that signed up yet, but they signed up this morning. I'm assuming they were probably on the webinar last night. But we'll be going through a lot of mindset and the technical side of how to make money in this business.
Yeah. It's gonna be amazing.
It is. I'm looking forward to this academy more than I have any academy in quite some time.
It's gonna be completely redesigned. That's for sure. Yeah. Right.
So look forward to having you guys out for that. If you are currently a club member with us, shoot me an email, or you can log in through the back office and get registered that way. So seats are filling up fast. I definitely would get a seat, because this is going to be a new and improved and completely reworked weekend academy.
It is.
That's going to really start to help a lot of
how
people.
many hours do you think we've put in so far reworking this academy?
Oh, man, I'd say, got to be.
Have we hit 1,000 yet? 1,000 hours?
We haven't hit 1,000, but we're definitely in the hundreds.
Yeah.
We're definitely in the hundreds. We'll probably be, and we've got a lot scheduled between now and the academy that we're still working on every day. I think we've got a 4-hour block set aside today.
Right.
So, a lot of times you see people in their expertise and you don't realize the work that they put into it. And it's like, there's a saying that says, practice in private so you can be perfect in public.
Yeah.
Right. And we spend time honing our craft, not just on the real estate side, but in the delivering of this information, in the helping other people with mindset and things like that. We are constantly training ourselves and working on that craft to become better so that we can better serve you, because at the end of the day, ultimately the reason we're here is to serve and give back and help other people create a family legacy.
30 seconds.
Create the type of life that they've always dreamed of, so they can continue that on and have options, not just for them, but for their children and their children's children.
Yeah.
So if you'd like to connect with us, you can do that at rightpathrealestate.com. We look forward to hearing from you. We hope everybody has a wonderful Wednesday, and we look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Tom will be on with Build Your Team Thursday. And
10 seconds.
We'll see you tomorrow. Thanks, everybody, for joining today.
Yeah, thanks. We're out.
We'll see you then.
You've been listening to Right Path Real Estate Radio. Find Tom at rightpathrealestate.com. You can put the fear behind you and listen every day from 9 to 10 a.m. on Business 1110 KTEK.